everyone, it's John and Steph again with another top 5 list of songs from bands we love. And this week we're doing Mastodon, a band formed in Atlanta, Georgia in 2000. They're considered heavy metal, progressive metal, sludge metal, and this has been really fun to do.
It has. It's been a lot of fun going through their 7 studio albums and watching some of their live concerts. It's been great. So I found this quote online about Mastodon, and I think it just sums them up. It's just a random quote from a fan. It said, "If metal had a baby with Pink Floyd."
I agree.
Yeah, so
spot on.
That's right. And is really into prog rock. I mean, Rush's my favorite band. I love Genesis, I love Floyd. So Mastodon is so interesting because they really started off more of that like really heavy, gravelly, growly singing voice on their first 2 albums. So on Remission and Leviathan. And I didn't get into them till a couple years after those albums. Somebody at work, his name is Rodney, turned me on to bands like Porcupine Tree and Coheed and Cambria, also gave me a Mastodon album. And it was Blood Mountain. And that's when I got into them, at the tail end of Blood Mountain and when Crack the Sky was coming out, when they were kind of turning from that like sludgy, deep, lyrical sound to more of the proggy, just more of the, how would you say it?
Melodic.
Yeah, exactly. Melodic vocals. Yep, in the like part of Blood Mountain into Crack the Sky. And that's really when I got into them. And actually, Rodney and I went to a show in New York City to see them, and it was a great show. But after that, we saw them live a couple times, and it absolutely sucked. We saw them at Hammerstein Ballroom in the Manhattan Center in New York City. And when we were down in Asbury Park, it was raining, so it was in the like Asbury Park Convention Center, this like metal bandbox. So maybe you're not going to blame Mastodon for the sound there, but even when we saw them at Hammerstein Ballroom, it was just, the sound was not clear, the vocals weren't clear. So to be honest, seeing them live, I could take it or leave it. I don't know, again, I'm not going to blame Mastodon for that, because the energy was good, but it just, the vocals were horrible, the sound was tinny and bad. So maybe we're just going to have to check them out in some different venues if we ever get back to seeing live shows, which would be really lovely right now.
Agree.
Yep. So, all right, so we'll start. Let's see if we have any matches. The last couple bands we've done, we've cheated. We've done like top 10s. Now we're going back to the original with the top 5, although we are going to add, we're going to review all the albums from our least favorite to most favorite. Because they only have 7 studio albums, it's going to be pretty quick to do that. So we'll add that at the end. So we'll focus on our top 5 songs, which is always difficult to do. I don't know, how was it with you?
Yeah, no, it was tough. And we do want to say we're doing number 5 to 1. So we're ranking, from the
right, like our 5th favorite
to the first. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm really psyched to see. I have a feeling we're going to have a couple matches, but I don't know if as many as when we did like Pearl Jam. We had a bunch of matches in Queen. Mm-hmm. So let's see how we do. You want to go first?
All right. I'm going to start with number 5, Oblivion, Crack the Sky.
Okay. All right. Not in my list. No, but a great album.
Yeah, I agree. So like John will say, he ranked the songs the same way I did. I gave it an 8. I think this is just a great song. I think it's interesting, like Crack the Sky, and even after, their next album, you just see like what an awesome band they are and how like they grew. And I think with Crack the Sky, like John said, really turned them on to Mastodon. And I think for me, definitely that album really like hit me right away from the start. So I think that's a really strong song.
Mm-hmm. So you gave it an 8 out of 10. So right, like 10 being like ideal, the perfect song, and 8 being like excellent. Okay, so it's funny, Oblivion didn't make my top 5, but it was in my top 15. As Steph said, I rank all the songs. Well, I don't rank all the songs, I just give a number from 1 to 10 for all the songs. And that ended up being like around number 15 for me. So great choice, but no match there. So my number 5 is Elephant Man off Remission.
Wow.
You have
Awesome. That was actually not in my top 10, but my top 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So see, there you go. So I'm going against what I first said, that Remission and Leviathan weren't my favorites, but there you go. One got into my top 5. So it's an instrumental off Remission, and it's the last song on the album, and it's really an anomaly on the album because again, it's obviously an instrumental, so you don't get the gravelly voices at all. No vocals, but it's a beautiful song. Really love it, and yeah. So Elephant Man.
Sweet, yeah, that is a great one. I think if you love Rush, you love instrumentals, that's definitely a song I think that, is definitely a favorite.
Yep.
Nice.
All right, what's your number 4?
That's going to be Word to the Wise from the album Emperor of Sand.
Oh, okay.
I ranked that 9 out of 10. I
Whoa,
love that.
Really like
yeah,
it.
I love that song has 3 different time signatures. Which again, I don't know much about that musical aspect, but that's just really amazing. When you hear that song, I think that is interesting. Yeah, and I think Emperor of Sand, their last album, there are not many bands I could have from the beginning to the end of the last album, just great songs, solid album all around. And I think again, I really love that album. I think it's a great one.
It is a really good one. Yeah, it's an awesome one.
Yeah.
All right, so number 4 for me is Sleeping Giant off of Blood Mountain, which is a great album.
Sweet.
Yep. I love it's got an epic start to it and killer guitar riff. It's just a great song. So yeah, Sleeping Giant's my favorite off of Blood Mountain.
Sweet.
Yep. Which Blood Mountain, actually, I think it won a Grammy for Best Heavy Metal Album. Pretty sure.
Wow.
Yeah, when
Awesome.
it came out. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Not on your...
Not on my top 10.
No, it's such a great song. Yeah.
No. All right, I'm going to go with number 3, which is Jaguar God from Emperor of Sand. As you can tell, it is one of my favorite albums. And yeah, I mean, I think that song just really hits an emotional level, I think, for me. Just, again, if you know with the album, a few of the members of the band were dealing with family and close people to them that were dealing with cancer, and unfortunately, Bill Keller's mother passed away from it. So I think again they just do the vocals and just the lyrics just amazing. I think it just really speaks to me. I think that for me that's why it's my number 3.
So Jaguar God was my number 2. So we have a match.
Nice.
Yes. I try to keep it quiet. I don't want to take away from Steph's excitement for announcing that song. But that is an awesome song. Great ending to a great album, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
And I love the guitar solo that ends the song. It lasts 30, 40 seconds at the end of the song. And to me, it just always sends me into the stratosphere. It's just beautiful. And it's just epic. A lot of the songs, just like Elephant Man and Jaguar God, seems like it's the last song on the album.
Yeah, I agree. And also, I think that song, you get to hear their versatility. They're a band that can play really hard. I mean, they're just great musicians all around. But when they can do those kind of melodic songs, it's just amazing. And I think again, that's very important for a band. And they just you can tell just how talented they are.
Oh yeah, and Brandeller, he's just an amazing drummer. He's just incredible. Yeah. And I know you love Brett Hines. Matter of fact, I think Steph was thinking of getting, the tattoo on the forehead. So that would be pretty cool. Okay, so I guess I'm up, right? Yeah, because we had a match there, which is great. So number 3 for me is off The Hunter. It's Bedazzled Fingernails.
Nice.
Okay? Not on your list, I'm guessing. No. Okay. So, to me, Bedazzled Fingernails, it's the trippiest song off the album. And I really love it. Now, The Hunter and Once More Around the Sun are the 2 albums that aren't really concept albums. They are sister albums, so they kind of, I think really The Hunter, which one came out first? I think it was, The Hunter came out first, so Once More Around the Sun was kind of part 2 with The Hunter. But all their other albums are concept albums, and again, as a Rush fan, I love concept albums. But this one was off the Hunter. Still a gorgeous, gorgeous song. And yeah, take some acid or smoke a little joint and enjoy this one.
I agree. Nice. So I'm going to go with my number 2, which is Ember City from Once More Around the Sun.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. I love how melodic and progressive it is. And I really love the guitar solo. I think that's just a really awesome one. I will say I'm very much more of a newbie when it comes to being into Mastodon. So I'm sure the way that I rank their albums are probably not typical to what most Mastodon fans would say. But I think that's what's fun about music. You know, there's no right or wrong. It's just whatever speaks to you. And again, I think that is a great album, and that's my number 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, Once More Around the Sun. Not too many diehard fans that were with them from the start had much off of their favorites off Once More Around the Sun. But then again, yeah, exactly. Just like when I got into them, when Crack the Sky was coming out, hey, I mean, more into the proggy side. Some fans didn't like it after Remission and Leviathan as much, but to each his own. That's what we always say. All right, so I'm on my number 1.
Yeah.
All right, so it is The Last Baron off of Crack the Sky. No surprise there. The last song.
Wow.
Off another Mastodon epic album. And it's 13 minutes long. And I love it. It's just, that whole album is just incredible. Again, not to give away too much from when we write the albums. Hint, hint. But The Last Baron, to me, best Mastodon song.
Sweet, sweet.
And
nice.
not in
not
your
on
top
my
5.
Come
on.
Just missed it.
Come on.
All right. So my number 1 is going to be the Motherlode from Once More Around the Sun.
Okay.
I know. Such a rarity
Wow.
to say, but I love Brand's vocals. I think I love how much he can play the drums, write lyrics, and just like sing so much. Like, as you've seen in my other videos, I've said I love Roger Taylor. I love how much he contributed to Queen, not just clearly as an awesome drummer. Same thing with Phil Collins. Again, so Brandon Taylor definitely up there in terms of he's just like all around just awesome musician. That song has great riffs, and of course, love the catchy chorus. I just gotta say, it is catchy.
She likes the commercial Mastodon stuff. That's okay.
So yeah, I think it's a great song, and if you haven't heard it in a while, check it out.
Yeah, and I believe, I don't know if you mentioned this, but that all 4 members sing.
Yeah, unique.
Which is, they're so versatile.
Unique band, just like Queen, very unique band. But again, really awesome. Love Troy's vocals as well.
She's biased. Yeah. All right, so that's it. So we had one match, which was Jaguar God, which was my number 2, and your number... What number was that for you? Like 3. Okay, cool. So one match, not bad. I'm going to give a couple just missed songs so that were in my top 10. Right after number 5, Colony of Birchmen, off of Blood Mountain, Pendulous Skin off Blood Mountain.
Ooh, I had that.
Oh, you did?
As
okay.
Well, yeah.
Roots Remain off of
Emperor
of Sand, of course. Yes. Stargasm, Black Tongue off The Hunter, and The Czar, another one off of Crack the Sky.
And I had Old Nessie from Remission. Thought that was a great instrumental. Again, love them. Elephant Man, of course, was on my list too. I love Steam Breather from Emperor of Sand as well.
It's a good one. Yeah.
High Road from Once More Around the Sun. Great one too. Stuff I thought it was
The
going to be in
poppy
my top 5.
That's okay. Good stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, great stuff. It was really fun going through all their albums again.
Yep. So now we're going to rank them really quick. We're not going to... All I'm going to say for each album is some songs that I haven't named that I liked off of each album, and I'll rank them from number 7, which is my least favorite, to number 1. But again, even the least favorite is still a good album. So, do you want me to go first? Okay. So I'm going to say my least favorite is Leviathan, as I've been hinting at. And, which I didn't have any 7 to 10 in that, like, excellent range of songs. And then 6 is Remission, which I did have Elephant Man. So that's number 6 for me. Number 5, your seemingly maybe favorite, Once More Around the Sun. And for that, I didn't have any in that excellent range. But again, I still think it's a good album. But again, it's just over time, since it came out a couple years ago, kind of fallen down a little bit. Number 4 is The Hunter. And The Hunter, I named it Black Tongue, I think is an excellent song. Stargasm, I mentioned Bedazzled Fingernails in my top 5. And The Sparrow, another good song off The Hunter. Number 3, okay, so number 3 and 2 were a virtual tie for me, but I'm going to say number 3, Emperor of Sand. Nice. Okay, it was very hard between Blood Mountain and Emperor of Sand. I thought they're neck and neck. Emperor of Sand, I had, just Roots Remain and Jaguar God, but those are such incredible songs, and that's what put it right there in my almost tied for number 2. Number 2, Blood Mountain, and I think I named all the songs that set off Blood Mountain. And number 1, that leaves, of course, Crack the Sky, which is just an epic album. One of my favorite albums from any band. And I'm just going to read a really quick thing from Crack the Sky, a little synopsis of the story. And if you haven't dropped some acid recently, you might want to take some now. First of all, Crack the Sky. Sky was the name of Brand's sister, so it was in honor of her. She passed when she was young. I believe she was a teenager. The album, albeit has a very trippy storyline, it's deep for Brand, and I'll read this. So let's see. It says it really is the ultimate concept album to me for Mastodon. And it's hard to separate the songs. That's why the whole album is so great. To separate the songs, it's just like one long story. But the main character is a wheelchair bound and goes on an astral journey. He gets caught in a wormhole. Spirits send him to 1920s Russia. He ends up in the body of Rasputin, a mystic holy man that was close to the Russian Tsar. Okay, so if you're not tripping yet, you probably are after that. Again, epic album, and that's why it's number 1 for me.
Awesome.
Let's see yours.
All right, so I went with number 7 for Remission. I know it's not high up on my list. I will say Old Nessie, I did mention. I do like that. And again, I think that album, while it may rank low on my list, kind of gives you like the precursor of what was to come with Mastodon, and I think that's just really awesome. Number 6 is The Hunter. Great album. I think it's, again, they don't have one bad album. You can't say that. Number 5 is Leviathan. Good album as well. And number 4, Blood Mountain. I know you
have Blood Mountain too low, man. Blood Mountain's great.
I know. I will say Pendulous Skin. I also had that on my list, so I see that's awesome too. Great guitar solo with that song. And then number 3, Crack the Sky. So it did make my top 3. Like John said, yeah.
It's not number 1. Blasphemous.
Stop judging. And number 2, Emperor of Sand. I think again they did such an awesome job with this album, and again for their last album, not many bands can say that. I mean, it just holds strong with the rest of their discography, so I think that's really great. And
like you said, such a personal album, so I think that comes through in the heart of the album, and it's a great one. You just really
get like those feelings you get from those songs. I think it's awesome. Yeah. And then, yes, I will be the weird one to say that number 1 is Once More Around the Sun. Again, very interesting. I haven't been listening to the band for many, many years, so I can say very interesting doing this and listening to all their albums. But again, Once More Around the Sun, just great songs. Ember City. Again, I think it's just a top-notch album, hence why it's my number 1. So, yeah, there you go. There's our top listed albums.
I'll give you this for Once More Around the Sun. I love the artwork on it. I mean, all their artwork, if you see any of their albums, just beautiful. But Once More Around the Sun, talk about trippy. Like the album cover is just whoa, like bright and just unbelievable. So I'll give you that. That number 1 artwork, Once More Around the Sun. But Crack the Sky, absolutely the best.
And Crack the Sky has a great album cover.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous.
I think that it's really cool. They have, whoever's doing their art is awesome.
Yep. All right. Hope you enjoyed that, and let us know what you think in your opinion. And talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.